Well, hello man cavers. You find me here at Strumpshaw end of season rally with all the steam and everything up there. So what we're gonna do, hang on, let me zoom out. That's it. We are going to have a look around the show, and I'm going to be driving an auto truck. We'll probably start with that. Mrs. Man Cave got to film it. Right, back in a minute. Ha ha! Welcome to the Man Cave. Let the games begin. Well, hello again, Man Cavers. So, after my intro, you're going to get Mrs. Man Cave's first ever video. She's actually done a little video while I was driving the auto truck, and I said I will leave it in. I said I'll leave it in for her. There's James. Hello, James. There's Mum. James' dad.
Well, hello, it's Mrs. Man Cave here. Hope you're all keeping okay. Thank you very much for subscribing and liking the channel. Very much appreciated, and we do read all your comments. Mr. Man Cave today, he's in his absolute element. A young gentleman has given him the opportunity of riding the auto truck. So let's go and have a look. There's lots to explore here today. Everything engine at Strumpshaw. It's a really, really lovely traditional steam rally. It really is. It's the smaller one of the two that they have every year. They have one, I think it's in July, and this one's obviously this weekend. But they have some wonderful things here. They have all the tractors. They have classic cars, classic bikes, steam engines, traction engines, stationary engines. Everything, you name it, they've got it here. Even classic bicycles, which is amazing. So I'm just going to show you a few bits. Please excuse me, it's the first time I've had to do this. So it's a lovely array of tractors. We've got some wonderful stalls as well. Some lovely old classic caravans as well. We've got the main ring just there in blue, and beyond that we've got their station engines and classic cars, which I'm sure Mr. Man Cave will show you all a bit later on.
I'm on camera. I've had a crash course on how to drive the beast. So we're going to wait to go round now.
Hello. Before we join up with Mr. Man Cave again, I just want to show you this beautiful machine. It's a thresher machine, and it's worked by Monty, one of the steam engines. And I just want to show you, hopefully, we can see this working in a little while. And when we do, I'll take a video of that. It's an absolute amazing piece of machinery. It really is. So wonderful to see, and it's so lovely to see history coming alive and keeping it there for generations. Oh, as we can see, the tractors are off. See them all getting ready to join the ring. Some beautiful old tractors there. I'm sorry, I can't tell you what the tractors are because I haven't got a clue. But I know there's some Fergusons there, and there is some absolutely lovely tractors there that obviously done a lot of work in their life and being lovingly restored and preserved. And again, keeping the history alive. As you can see, there's Mr. Man Cave. He's doing well so far. I don't want to speak too soon though. Oh, look at that concentration on his face.
Hello,
goodness, the very kind gentleman on this tractor here. He's answered one of Mr. Man Cave's dreams of driving the auto truck.
So the guys are just coming to finish off a line up there, and then we'll...
I'm also going to say a huge hello to James from Trimmingham. He's no doubt going to watch today, but he's also here today at Strumpshaw, and he purposely came with his family today to come and see Mr. Man Cave. So a huge thank you and a massive hello to him. It's so wonderful to see him, his sister and his mum and dad. Absolutely lovely.
Couldn't chat to me about that. Hello, man, what can you tell me about that?
Not a lot at all, really. It's a Voyage industrial truck made in Allington, Cornwall, and they took over the rights to manufacture this thing from a firm called Hatch Brothers. Supposedly in 1960, but how long they kept on making them I don't know. We can't find very little about it really.
So we're struggling to find any details about that, but it's a lovely example. Would have been used small holdings, maybe transporting wood around, something like that, but something a little bit different. Same as the red one here. What sort of year is this one?
This is a 1957 Le Pratique French Vineyard tractor. It's got a 4-cylinder Citroen engine in it and a 6-speed range gearbox.
So again, not something you see every day, and nothing I've seen on the rally field before. You know, things varied, people had fashions, and mainly along with the fours and something a little bit different. We've gone along across here to speak to this man. Don't be afraid, go and have a chat, they're really friendly. Thanks so much for your time.
If anyone has lost a set of keys, and they lost them in somewhere in Lingwood today, somewhere around School Road, the man in the 135, Matty Ferguson, with the cab, found a set there and he's got them with him. So if you were in Lingwood today and you lost a set of car keys, go and see the man with the Matty Ferguson 135.
tractors for you. Sorry there wasn't much commentary with that. I don't know a lot about tractors, but hopefully it meant that the tractors could speak for themselves. I'll let you watch this bit and then I'm off for an ice cream. Bye bye for now. Here's Mr. Man Cave. Grinning like a Cheshire cat. So in true Man Cave style, bye-bye for now.
Right, we're at the motorcycles. So let's have a look at these old bikes. First of all, we have a Yamaha 350. Very nice. An old BSA. Not sure what that one is. Looks like some form of Bantam, really not sure. Speedway bike. Francis Barnett, look, there you go, that's our beastie. Look like a Super Bantam perhaps. BSA Gold Flash. Norton Commando with electric start. And a couple of little ones.
Lovely, and we'd like to have you here with it. So
there we go. Never heard of them.
So now
you can read that if you want. You'll have to pause it.
This is a 6-inch scale.
And the one next to it.
Same as the one beside it.
Corgi Mark II. Here we have a BSA with a side chair. 4.5 horsepower. Look, there we go. We have got some really early stuff here. There we go. Is this some sort of Vela set? I think the police used to use a lot of these. Heartbeat. Yeah, that's it. But yes, very boxy old girls, aren't they?
Now this one, we're having a fight. Everybody wants to talk about this one, and
there we go.
Discussion about who's going to do it.
There's some lovely motorcycles. Let's look at the cars. We have a Capri 3-litre gear, and I noticed earlier it has Jan speeds on it.
So,
Sunbeam Rapier, that looks a nice little car. An old Morris van, isn't that lovely? Lovely little Austin. Can't remember what that is. Oh, how devil is that? Oh, I don't know. And a Nissan Sunny. Don't see a lot of these on the road anymore. Along with P6, P5B by the look of it, or P5. Is she P5 or P5B? Does it say? No, it don't say. The enthusiasts among you will know the difference between the P5 and P5B. I'm not sure. Here we have Maggie 1000 Traveller. Some would say classic, some would say no. Hard to me to believe these are classic because I had 2 or 3 of these back in the early 90s. You know, early mid-90s. I actually had one of these 3 years old, and it's hard to think now that they're actually on a rally field, but personally, and I'm going to be hated for this, this is actually one of my favourite shape of escorts, the Mark V, before they went on to them silly oval grills like the Mark 6s. Cool, here we do have some really old stuff. A Trojan, another Austin, an MGB. She would be the coupe. Oh, is that a Volvo there? A really old Volvo. Yeah, some lovely old stuff. Austin 7, there we go. And a Type 25 Volkswagen, complete with status TV aerial. An Opel Manta. Personally, the poor man's Capri. But many will disagree again, and the Vauxhall people are going to hate me for that. But it's still, nevertheless, it's lovely to see one. You just never see them anymore. And we have what looks like a kit car of some sort. It's very nice indeed. Nicely done. Plenty of stalls. There's the. There is the steam engines. Let's come back down here. What else is there for you guys to see? Well, the engines really. Oh, we've got to have a look around the tractors. Mrs. Mancave did cover it briefly, but we will have a look at the tractors. There is some Land Rovers, some army stuff. Hello! You're going on YouTube later? There, threshing machine with classic Carabao. Oh yes, you'll like this. I think this is the university engine. I think this is the university engine, which was built by students of a university, if I remember correctly. Huge hit and miss. No, she's not hit and miss, she's government control, listen. Well, I mean, this is the engine I'm thinking of. 12 horsepower, that. 12 horsepower. And the damn thing has got 5-foot flywheels. Lovely little Lister. CE, I think. Some's all Ruston Hornsby I haven't seen before. Stuart Turner, Bamford EG, Ruston ZPR, I believe. Oh, she's running a corn mill. We have a Petter M, Appletop, very nice. Here we have a Ruston PB, not mine, I hasten to add, mine sits here with compressor. We have shut them down so I could go and drive that tractor. Here's our trusty Lister B commercial. You've all seen that one featured on the channel by fitting the water tank. And its first start in about, since about the 70s. It's all on the channel, so let's have another look what we've got on this row of engines. There's some inflatables and some food stands, a beer tent. Here we go. Here we have a lovely Associate engine, isn't she lovely? Now that is hit and miss, but the governor waits. Lister D, Spec 23, another Lister D. Lovely, well turned out Lister D with a lovely little pump arrangement. Little Stewart pump, a Wolseley WD1, a Stover. Now that is a nice little hit and miss. I heard that running earlier and it is phenomenal. Lovely little thing, absolutely lovely. Let's move along. One of my favourites, I like little things, including this tiny little engine. That must only stand about 14 inches from the floor to the top of that exhaust. It is tiny, and I think the whole thing is about 14 inches long. 18 inches long with the trolley. It is lovely, absolutely lovely. Love that little thing. Here we have, shame these are switched off, but we're getting later in day. Little PB3 Ruston with power hacksaw. And then we've got a couple of gaps for people that are turning up on the Sunday. There we have an LD1 Lister. Oh, look at this little nipper. Roxham Engineering. Now that's nice. That is nice. Whatever engine is that? It looks like the people don't even know what it is. So can any of you guys shed any light on that? Let's see if we can, well I can, because on each other I can cross over the line. Let's have a closer look at this. Seems like the owners don't even know what this is. That look a bit like a Model 0 Jap on there to me, but I don't know. Looks very much Model Naught Jap by that carb and that cylinder head arrangement held on with the 3 bolts. I have a Model Naught Jap where the cylinder head's held on with 3 Phillips screws, just the same. So I'm guessing that's a Model Naught Jap on there, 34cc 2-stroke. But I don't know. Another lovely little hit and miss lump with a bus coil and a couple of LD listers. A little BSI in there. And let's have a look at the workings of this one better. I'll just keep my trap shut so you can actually watch and listen to this thing. We can actually count the RPMs as this, like, well, it's camshaft, I suppose you'd call this shaft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's how slow she's running. Look at that camshaft gear. Absolutely marvellous. Oh, that is a big Ruston. That's not the engine I was thinking of. I was thinking of a engine built in the university, but I can't remember for the life of me what it was called. I'm sure that's a Lister CE. It doesn't say anywhere on it, but I'm sure that's a CE. I think. But there we go. There are our engines. So, I think, yeah, we need to go have a look at the tractors, which is back up the other end. Mrs. Man Cave has briefly covered them, but I will have a walk around them in more detail. And we will be back. Bye-bye for now. Aha! Here we are inside Strumpshaw Museum. Let's have a look at some of the engines and some of the things what we've got in Strumpshaw Museum. Oh, majestic old cabaret organ, isn't that lovely? Singer Junior 8 horsepower, Jaguar Mark II. Very nice indeed. And here we have a collection of steam engines. Let me zoom you right out. Here's all the traction engines, traction rollers, all different kinds. This is Strumpshaw Museum in Norfolk. And when you come to the Strumpshaw rallies, you get free entry to the museum. So once you're in, there's nothing really to pay for. So it's well worth the day out. Here we can actually look inside one of these. There we go. There we go. I assume that's the bit where you put your crumpets to toast them. Really not sure. But here we go. But there is some stationary engines in here as well. And then let's have a walk back. And you'll see some beautiful, beautiful engines. Unfortunately, not all of them are running today, but some are. And the one I'd like you to see is a massive beam engine. Those of you that have been here will know exactly what I'm talking about. But there is a massive beam engine here, and when I say massive, I mean quite massive. But for a start, we're going to have a look around 4 Marshall tractors, a 43, 46, 48 and a 50. And here we've got some little steam engines. Look at that little nipper. But the one I like best, this one. Look how slow running it is. I'm not playing this in slow motion, this is real time. I've even put a glass crankcase door in so you can see. Like I say, this is not slow motion, this is real time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how slow that is running. Absolutely fantastic. That is phenomenal. Anyhow, let's go have a look at this beam engine. What we've got up here. Oh, we have a model steam train on a little bit of track. Very nice indeed. A little McCormick, a grey Fergie, and the Major. Is that a Major? Yes, that is the Major. Now let's look at this beam engine. Now this may not look very big to you, but if I walk up to it and I stand like so, that'll give you some idea how big this thing is. It must be up to the top of the building, that must be 22, 25 feet high, and that beam is massive. This flywheel goes into the ground. Yeah, we have a flywheel which is, this is half the flywheel obviously, because the other half goes below ground, down in there. Look at that. Now I don't know how many RPMs this thing's running, couldn't tell you, but it isn't many, because she's going slowly. Track my finger. There we go. How can we mark a revolution? The join. Let's look out for that join again. There it is. There's that join. There it is again. Look at the data sheet on it. Engine was one of two at a pumping station in Addington from 1888. They stopped working in 1975. Mr. Ricard stopped them in 1975 and started this one here at Strumpshaw in 1983. The beam engine has pumped 1.5 million of gallons of water per day and gave through few problems throughout its working life. 100 tons, width 18 feet, length 21 feet. It requires 4 tons of coal a day to run. 4 tons of coal a day. But she pumped 1.5 million gallons of water per day. Gallons. What's that? 6,819,000 litres of water a day. Nearly 7 million litres a day. Phenomenal. And there's Mrs. Man Cave looking around the carousel. I thought initially it was the waltzers, but it wasn't, because the seats don't go spinneroony and make you sick. Oh, we've got a collection of old mowers. Now we are in our element. What have we got here? Oh, that's not a Barford Atom for my auto truck, is it? No, it isn't. There we have a B&B British Anzani Iron Horse. Very nice. Old trusty tractor. What's that? An MTD with a 5 horsepower brakes. I don't think that's part of the museum. So let's have a look at the old Webbs and Suffolk punches and Suffolk Colt cylinder bars. The ones Grandad used to sharpen with a file and cut his make-believe bowling green. There we go, under these ornate steps. Whoa, we're on the other side of this beam engine now. Just look at it. Say, this is Strumpshaw Museum. Phenomenal. Look at the size of the nuts. Look at the size of the nuts what hold the big end caps on. Them buggers must be 5 inch. And them big ones down the bottom there must be 7 inch. milk churns, grinding stones, an old mangle and a dentist foot chopper. Now can you imagine a day behind this bugger? That'll sort the men from the boys, won't it? She must be 6 foot long. Look at the size of this bad boy. Can you imagine a day behind that? You'd know you'd done the bugger. There's some more engines. Look at these. Now look at that for a Morse taper. Now that is one huge Morse taper. Oh. Massive, massive, massive piston. Again, we have a flywheel here which must be 12 feet off the ground, and again it goes into the ground, so probably a 24-foot flywheel. Absolutely massive. These are huge. This one, look, this engine pumped 3 million gallons of water a day. The big one, 1.5 million. This one pumped 3 million gallons a day. Absolutely unbelievable. 1911 this. So this one got sort of twice the pump capacity of the one in the back there you see running. I mean, this isn't running, so I put my hand there. There's your big end. There's your oiler. Here's my hand against a greaser, sorry. The greaser has got a tap fitting on the end. There you go. That's the diameter of the crankshaft that the connecting rod go on. There's the connecting rod. Just to give you some scale of actually how big this thing is. That's actually your crankshaft. That's the sort of pin off the crankshaft. That's like your big end. That's the word I'm looking for. That's your crank. That'd be your big end. And just look at the size of this thing. Again, there's your oiler, nearly as big as my hand. And the cylinder, well, it's massive. Here we have a big 4-cylinder thing, stand about, I don't know, the top of them heads are about 10 feet. Absolutely massive, massive thing. So I've got the camera zoomed out as far as it will go, and this is absolutely huge. Running times, 3 o'clock. Wow, I don't know what the time is now, but I think we've missed that. But isn't that phenomenal? The detail in this. The oilers, injection pumps. I mean, this thing is monster. Absolutely monster. There's even a little puffin' Billy there, look. Look at that little gal. Oh, here we go. Ruston Lincoln, 400 horsepower, 1914, look. Came from Tiptree, and again, pumped 3 million gallons of water a day. 3 million gallons, that's a lot. A lot. That platform where you get to the things, I'm actually standing underneath that now. I'm 6 foot. This injector is head height. So that gives us some idea. The cylinder don't even start till here. It all goes up. You know, your crankshaft would be in here. Your connecting rods will come up to here. You can tell by the shape of the block. So your cylinders are up here and your head's at the top. This thing's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Again, I think that is a steam engine, so that wouldn't be an injector. I meant oiler. It's some sort of oiler, because they've all got them. That's probably your oiler cylinders. But this is a steam museum, so the look it is everything's steam. There we go. Anyhow, before I outstay my welcome and get asked to leave, I think we're going to have a little... Oh, there. Fairground road is working. Da, 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 da. La, ba, da, ba, da, da. There we go. Right, I'm going to go, and we will see you next time for another video. And, well, I'm going to leave you with this one. So, bye-bye for now. Ha-ha!